So, all right, let's talk about the perfect marketing process, because a lot of you guys are going to be asking that, Michael, how do we market? It's easy. This is a quick sales process formula. If you follow this, okay, it's going to be easier for you. Now, we can dive deeper and really go deep in this and literally give you the step-by-step words, but that's going to take us literally another 10 hours. Because that right there, when we do that training, it has to be where we work with you one-on-one, whether on the phone, on a video chat, or literally live, where we actually have you practice, drill, rehearse, and return demonstrate what we tell you. But here's the basic thing. If you can literally use this in a row and not mess it up, it's going to make things easier for you. The perfect basic process to build to satisfy the patient, marketer, referral source, and your management team. Here's the crucial 5 steps of your marketing process. Greet. Okay? Part of your greeting, don't forget, is your false time constraint, okay? You want to be able to understand that. Next thing, determine the wants and needs. Okay, these are your question information. You need to start using your closing techniques in the beginning to start being able to find what are their needs. Doctor, between a rating of 1 to 10, how do you rate your current home health agency? What would they need to do to be able to improve it? Now let me ask you, doctor, if there is anything that you need the most from for the care of your patients, what is the most important thing? Do you feel that readmission, doctor, is very important for your patients, that we reduce that for you? Determine the wants and needs. This is where you find out what the problems are. What the problems that they're facing. What the problems that they are actually working with. Okay? So find out the problems. Now, the number 3, select the product and present and build value. So select product and present and build value. This is where you start telling them about the services that you have. This is how you create the solutions to the problems that you created. Remember, bring up the problems. Don't worry about it, and then provide the solution. Number 4 is make the proposal. This is just a reminder. By this time, you should have already made several closing questions, several closing techniques, okay? And later on in this presentation, we'll share with you a few closing techniques from our 100, favorite closing techniques. Okay, so make a proposal, okay? This is where you start asking for that referral, okay? But remember, this is just to remind you to ask for the referral, because remember, most people forget to ask for the referral. I tell people, ask for the referral in the beginning, or tell them a story that by the end of this presentation, you're going to see and agree the fact that you should start referring patients to us. Very good close, very good referral asking technique. Doctor, in the beginning, before we even start, I will tell you that upon the finish of this presentation, you're going to see the value that we provide, and you're going to understand why other physicians have chosen us, and that you should actually give us a try to be able to understand and learn that you should use our services, because it's the right thing to do, doctor. Make a proposal. Number 5, close the transaction. Doctor, if there's anything else that from my presentation, is there any other reason why you would want to refer to us? Doctor, is there anything else that is confusing you that we can actually make things better for you so you can start actually using our services? Find out any more objections that have been left and break those objections. Go past it until you can get the commitment. Here's a commitment close. Just a quick technique. Doctor, can I get you to say and give me your commitment that you're going to start referring patients to our company, to our agency, to our services? Can I get that commitment, doctor? The reason why I'm using commitment is because I'm trying to get him to say, you have my commitment. Because if a doctor can say that he can commit, okay, that is one step closer for him to saying yes. And for him to actually acknowledging that he should use your services. Basic sales process, like I discussed, greet, can't happen until you're in front of them, okay? So some people think that, well, I greeted them on the phone. No. The phone call is just a warm touch for you, okay? When you still have to meet them for the first time, it's still a cold walk-in. Just because you already got the information on the phone, it doesn't really start until you meet them. Determine the wants and needs. Like I said, ask the right questions, give them what they should know. Select the product. Tell them about what makes you stand out. What makes you different? You have telehealth? Great. You have an emergency call button? Great. You provide pet care? Great. You have a concierge service? Amazing. What value products do you have that makes you better than the other agencies? Make a proposal and a presentation. My goal is to get your commitment to take care of your patients. Have you ever said this before? Have you ever said this in a presentation? If you haven't, and you've been doing this for a while, you better start learning closing techniques. Close a transaction. At times it takes at least 7 different closing techniques in one presentation. That's why we teach you more than 100. I truly suggest you do the 100 advanced techniques, okay? But if you can't do that yet, commit to at least paying and watching our 44 techniques, our 44 closing technique presentation that you should learn and you should know. Okay, basic sales process again. When I work personally with the clients, okay? When I work personally with the clients, the first thing I do is make sure that they have the basic sales process intact. So what I shared with you, the basic sales process, I want you to be able to have that intact. You'll be surprised. I get called in to do a presentation, to be able to work with marketers. And I tell them, I want you guys to study and understand the basic concepts of the sales process, of the marketing process. And when I go in there, they can't even remember it. That is the biggest problem. Is that if you can't remember just the basic 5 and give me a sample of your presentation. Like if I ask you right now as you guys are watching this video or you're watching this presentation and I ask you right now to go ahead and do a sales presentation for me just from the 5 basic steps that I shared with you. Do you guys remember the 5 basic steps? Right now, it's not in front of you. Do you remember the 5 basic steps? Until you can learn the basics of things, you cannot progress and learn the advanced techniques. And my goal is to get your commitment right now for you to be able to understand and want to have the advanced training, to be able to have those additional scripts. But for us to get there, we need to get you to learn the basics of everything. And that right there is important to be able to learn and understand.